Alright, what up? What up? Alright, this one right here is how kids stay out the fucking streets. Stay out the streets, especially if you don't know what you're getting yourself into. It really ain't for anybody. The streets ain't for nobody, man. That's how motherfuckers end up getting killed in prison, because that shit really ain't made for no one. Some niggas just last a little longer and shit than others. But in the end, they always say, streets only gonna bring you one thing, the penitentiary or the grave. So anyways, we all gotta die though sometime, but nigga don't wanna be in prison and then die. That shit, waste of life and then. Anyways, look, this story right here, how motherfucker lost, how me and the two homies end up getting robbed for 5 pounds of trees. And hopefully this might save somebody's life and shit. Decide not to fuck around and say it's not worth it. Let me go back to school. Let me get a trade and stop doing this dumb shit. So, all right. Back when I was in the Valley and shit, before we left Cali, it was like a corner liquor store I used to always go to. So, motherfucking, and I knew the dudes that owned it. I knew the dude that owned it. I know the workers well and shit like that, because I was there a few times a day. So anyway, one time one of the workers and shit, that nigga pulled out a bag of a crystal of some meth. And he behind the counter and shit, but he's like basically like, hey Matt, you know anybody who fuck with this? I'm like, nah. That ain't my get down, homie. I just fuck with the trees. He like, all right, just checking, but so I'm like, nigga, if you need some weed, let me know. Got my medical card and everything, nigga. I go, what you need? Then so he like, all right, he took notes and shit. Let that shit process. About 2 or 3 weeks later and shit, I see him and I go to the store and shit, and he like, hey, like I don't know if I just dropped some tree. So anyway, I don't know if he thought I was bullshitting or what, but he asked me like, I need to get some weight, some weed, but some weight. I'm like, what you need? He like, I need 5 P's. I'm like, all right, how much you got? Or what you usually pay for it? What you want to spend on it? Because a nigga just say that, nigga, I ain't just shooting out no number and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you might end up losing out on an extra 3 G's. Just talking too fast. So he basically like, nigga, I ain't paying. I ain't paying no more than 5 for each one. So I'm like, all right, I give them to you 5 apiece. At the time, niggas was getting them for like 12, 15. This was before. This was before it was all legal and all that shit. Anyway, niggas was getting them for like 12 or 15. So I'm like, nigga, you want 5 and 5? All right. Now, when motherfucker tell you that, too good to be true, like they always say, it is. So, anyway, I never had that much work on me and shit, but I can make a phone call and get it cracking. Take my little finder's fee and shit. So I called a homie. I'm like, yeah, well, shit, you got the bread? So I'm like, let me see. So now I come to find out. Dude, actually, he trying to middleman through someone else to make his little bread off that dude at the liquor store. So I'm like, oh man, it's 2 middlemen and shit. That shit don't usually work out right. That's 2 strikes, right? Strike 2. Strike 2, nigga. I should have known from there. Strike 2. When the shit ain't going right from the gate, back out. So he called his peoples. He called dude and wanted. He like, yeah. He like, hold on. I got my kids. He like, I got my kids. I gotta get my kids this shit. I'll be back in like a couple hours. I'm like, all right. Call me when you're ready. I ain't nothing. I'll just, make a phone call, make it happen. Like, all right. So dude, about an hour later, dude called me back up to the liquor store. I go up there. He's like, hey man, dude say go over here to this address and meet him there. He just want to he want to meet you and shit before da. I'm like, what? I'm like, strike three. I still ain't listening to my gut. I'm like, he want to meet me and shit before? Oh man, that sound like police. Or he trying to rob me, kidnap me, and try to tell me to call the homies and bring that shit for my life and some shit like that. So I'm like, hell no, nigga. If you want to get him, we can do that, but I ain't finna just go over there and meet this nigga at his house. Get me fucked up. So anyway, this nigga convinced me to go over there. He like, nah, I know this nigga, da. This is his house. So he convinced me and shit. So I pulled around the corner because it's right around the corner from my house and shit. Like, all right, this nigga live close. So I fucking pull up over there. I knock on the door. Nobody comes. So I'm on the phone. I call a nigga at the liquor store like, hey man, ain't nobody coming to the door, man. What's up? I said, if somebody open the door with a gun in my face, homie, I said, you're a dead man. He's like, nah, man, you tripping. I'm like, I'm tripping. Nigga, I'm fucking taking a leap of faith right now, just trusting your ass, nigga. You got me in a spot right now, though. So no one comes to the door. He called me back like 2 minutes later. He's like, hey, dude ain't back yet, man. He got caught up in traffic trying to get his kids still. I'm like, what? Strike four. Still not listening. So, you know what? Honestly, I forgot to say. The reason why I'm not listening, because I'm telling the homie the whole time what's going on. I'm like, yo, this ain't right. Something ain't right about this shit. And the homie he in my ear, my other homie who got the trees, he like, nigga, you know how much bread we about to make and da. And nigga, we gonna do this. And he like, nigga, I'm getting them for this. Like, nigga, we was gonna eat if that shit went right. So, getting greedy, thinking about the money. I'm not listening to these strikes. So, the homie in my ear and shit every time I call him, but I'm telling him like, yo, this nigga's trying to set me up or something. He like, nah, nigga, I know where that nigga's at and something happened on me. I'm like, nigga, it's gonna be too late. I'm gonna be dead already. Then you'll have to retaliate. He like, nigga, you tripping. I'm like, what? That shit happens, homie. This ain't la la land, it's the streets, homie. This some real shit. Niggas will kill you if they know fucking for £5. Like, the fuck, niggas will kill you for £1, for a QP. Niggas will kill you for a zip. These niggas out here, these young niggas out here in Georgia, these niggas, I didn't see on the news, these niggas done killed a nigga for like an eighth for a 3.5 or some weed. So you talking about £5? Man, that nigga will piss on your body after he shoots you for that shit. What, these young crazy niggas? So anyway, I'm leaving. I called dude at the liquor store like, yo, I'm leaving, man. So, come to find out later, the dude just wanted to see who the fuck I was. He wanted to see my face. So anyway, I leave and shit. I'm like, yo, tell the homie like, yo, this ain't good. Something ain't right. He like, nigga, you acting scary and da. I'm like, nah, this just don't seem right. Nigga, we gonna either get busted by the police or a nigga gonna try to pull a strap on us. He like, nigga, don't worry about that shit. I'm like, don't worry about it. I'm like, whatever. So then, now it's nighttime and shit. It's time to make everything happen. The homies pull up. They was gonna bring the trees. The homie from the liquor store called me like, boom, dude's ready. So we skirt out. We drive like 2 miles down the road and shit. The other nigga I was with had another white boy, old white man, pull up in like a F-150 and just dump him a duffel bag like, bloom. He got in the back seat and shit. I was like, all right. So now we going back to dude's house and shit where I went earlier where he ain't answered the door. So that's strike 5 actually. Cause niggas was talking about he had it. And he still had to go get it. So that's middleman. Strike 5. And I'm still not listening. That's like that. At this point, it's like, yo, you get what you deserve at this point for being a dummy. So anyway, we pull up at dude's house, and the nigga from the liquor store ain't there. And I don't see the nigga who want it. Supposedly it's an older black dude, older nigga and shit. So I call dude the liquor store like, yo, where the fuck you at, homie? Like, how we beat you to your play and shit. And so this nigga come pulling up. Hit the corner, rushing and shit. Jumps out. Strike 6. How you making enough attention for the whole neighborhood to see when you about to do something like that? So anyway, we all about to get out the car. I went to open my door, and the homie's like, nah, don't trip, I got it. I'm like, what? Like, nigga, this is my play. I know these niggas. You don't know them. And his homeboy and shit that was with her, he was like, nah, that nigga know what he's doing and shit. Like, let him handle that shit. Don't worry. We'll just chill right here. I'm like, hell no, this is my play. Like, what y'all got up y'all sleeve? And fucking, they're like, nah, nigga, you tripping. Just post up. I got it. I'm gonna make this shit quick and da-da-da. So I'm like, all right, nigga. I said, man, don't give him nothing until you see some bread, homie. He's like, man, don't trip. I'm sitting in the car and shit. I'm sitting there. Next thing I know, dude, I see dude from the liquor store talking to the homie in the driveway because they walked into the driveway. They talking and shit. I see him trying to reach for the duffel bag from the homie, and the homie like, nah, hold on. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Strike 7. So anyways, I see the garage door open up like about knee high. About knee high and shit. I see it's a nigga in there and shit with some basketball shorts. He look kind of tall and he has big ass feet, small Shaq feet. So I'm looking. It's probably like 2-3 feet up. Nigga from the liquor store go underneath that shit. I see him chopping it up with dude and shit. The homie standing outside with the bag. The homie see that, he come back to the car like, boom. Give me that shit. So I put everything by my feet. He go back over there. Dude come back out from under the garage from the liquor store. The homie go over there and they get to have exchange of words and shit. The homie come back to the fucking car like, let me get one of them. I'm like, where the bread at? He's like, let me just get it. I'm like, hell no, nigga, not till I see some bread. He's like, man, just give me the shit, man. It's not even yours. I'm like, man. So I reached in the bag, pulled out one, gave him one. He walked over to the driveway. He trying to go under the shit. The nigga from the liquor store stopped him. I'm like, hold on. He go underneath the garage, nigga from the liquor store with the pound. I see dude under the shit, kind of, because I'm in the car, but you can still kind of see, like from fucking, like I know what's going on. The nigga went over there, popped it, smelled it and shit. I can't see all that, but I know what the fuck he's doing because I can see his feet. Like the nigga, man, he turned around and put it down somewhere and shit, and I turned around and was like, then the homie come back out. The nigga from the liquor store come back out and tell the homie, man, let me get the other 4. And the homie walk over to the garage and look under the garage door. Dude opened up the garage door a little bit more. Man, it's about waste time. So the homie said he seen, he had like a little tool table kind of shit. A little working tools table. The homie said he just seen like 25 stacks, just boom, boom, boom. So he like, all right, the nigga got the bread, but he ain't giving it none of it up. But he want all the trees. I'm still in the car like, yo, don't, in my head I'm like, yo, don't get this nigga shit. I still got the other 4, but the homie back right here telling me like, he was like, yo, I just seen the bread. Give me the other 4 and shit. I'm like, nah, get the bread. Get some of the bread at least. Pay for that one he got over there. And he like, man, Matt, just give it to me. So I just give him the whole thing. Like, here, fuck it. Remember the other nigga tell me like, Matt, nah, man, he knows what he's doing. It's cool, it's all right. And fucking, next thing I know, the nigga from the liquor store got the duffel bag with the rest of the trees in it, the 4 P's in it. He go under the garage, right? And then next thing I know, the garage door just go, dang, click. And the homie standing there with his thumb up his ass. Just like, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And the other homie come back to the car, get a cigarette. I'm like, yo, what the fuck just happened? He's like, man, they getting the bread situated. He said he gonna be right out. I'm like, why did he close the fucking door? This time I'm starting to panic. Like, nigga, ain't none of us paid for this shit. And y'all just basically just handed this nigga all the shit that we gonna be responsible for. Like, so the homie, the homie light a cigarette, go back to the other homie standing in the driveway. The nigga still standing in the driveway. I'm still sitting in the car like, man, they keep telling me stay in the car. Cause they already know I ain't going for all that shit. So anyway, like they was trying to keep me separate from dude because they didn't want to let me know how much money they was actually making. Because he honestly told me like 20, he was getting them for 25, but couldn't find out the next day he was getting them for like 12. So I was like, damn, the homie was on some old janky shit too. That's why they didn't want me to stay in the car and they didn't want me to get out. They didn't want nothing, like, you know what I mean? Like, man, y'all could have told me that. So anyway, event, like, he was out there for like a good 5 or 10 minutes just standing there looking stupid. Then he come back to the car and I'm like, what's up? He like, man, your homeboy got us. I'm like, what? I open up the car door. I can't even say what happened next. The shit on YouTube, man, but we never got them shits back, man. We never got them back. I'm gonna tell another story how we trying to get the bread and pay for that shit back next. All right, enjoy your weekend, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in too.